Hi guys, good morning and welcome back to my channel. And today is the first Saturday in May, and so I am going to cover my progress for April for my Crafty goals. And this is part of the Crafty Goals collab with Amalia. And Cool Cakes and Crafts with Amalia is here on YouTube and is hosting this awesome collaboration this year where you create some crafty goals for yourself and then you track them throughout the year and you give an update each month on how you're doing towards those goals. And there's a great group of ladies who are participating in this collaboration. Their links will be included in the description box below. So for now, we'll kind of jump into how I did for April. And I've noticed that it shifts focus depending on the month. Some months I do really great in one area, and then the next month I may not do so great in that area, but I do great in another area. So even though I have my goals set by month, I am kind of looking at this kind of also on a bigger realm as, at the end of the year, how did it average out? So that's what I'm telling myself anyway. But anyway, my very first goal was to use up one paper pad each month. And this month I did use 3. I used 2 6x6. One was a Cosmo Cricut Material Girl, and I just had the remnants of it. I didn't even have any part of the pad cover left. And then I also used the Studio G paper pack. It was like blacks and whites and grays. And I will include some pictures here of what I made from these 2 6x6 pads, but these were part of the Smash That Small Paper Pad collab with Deb Hawk's Crafty Cottage. And since the Cosmo Cricut was a small kind of, there were like maybe, I don't even know, 9 pages left, plus scraps. And the Studio G one only had 15 in it, so I just kind of tried to do 2 of them since they were both pretty small. And I did finally finish my 12x12 pad project that I've been working on, which is Canta from GCD. And I'm still working on getting the final videos for this edited and posted for you guys. So I don't have any great pictures to show, but I did finally finish off this pad. And I did this pad kind of as a process video. Like everything that I did, I recorded just so you could kind of see how I worked through an entire pad. And I did that just because I didn't have this full pad left. Again, there was maybe a dozen full sheets left, or maybe half the pad. And so it was more manageable for me to try and record everything. But look for the final videos of this to come here in the next week or so. So those were the 3 pads that I did this month. My next goal was to use up at least 1 embellishment. And I did use 3. So my next goal was to complete at least 5 personal scrapbook pages, and I ended up making 23. That's, I think, a record, at least for a long time. And that was just from the various projects that I did. A lot of it was when I was trying to work on using up my scrap box from last month. I ended up making a lot of pages. And then in some of my 6x6 pads, I also did some pages. So 23, that was a great number for me. And goal number 4 is to make at least 10 Christmas cards, and that's for the 10 on the 10th card collab with Metal Scrap and Chick, and I ended up making 29. And that's been consistent the past 3 months. I've made 29 cards. And again, this month was just using up scraps from my scrap box, and I could have made more, but I ran out of time and had to stop. So goal number 5 is to use up at least 1 sticker sheet each month, and that's because I'm also taking part in the Stickier Side of Crafting collab with Deb Hawk's Crafty Cottage. And this month I ended up using like 9 throughout all of my various projects that I did. Goal number 6 is to clean my craft studio at least once, and I do clean it at least once. It may not stay clean for very long, but I did clean it up towards the beginning of the month. Goal number 7 is to use at least one upcycle item from my stash, and again, these are things that I picked up with the thought that I could either embellish them and make something new in some way, or upcycle them into something new. And this month, the things I used at least 3 like post-it notepads. I did, as part of some of my pad projects, I did some decorative notepads, and so I did pull 3 pads out of my stash. Goal number 8 was to figure out how to organize my girls' craft supplies, and I am counting that one as done for the rest of this year, so I have gone ahead and colored it black. The past 3 months, I kind of watched them, figured out how they craft, how they use their supplies, and then it was just a matter of getting them organized and stored, and I feel like it's working. Is it working?
Yes.
I kind of had them both stored differently because they both craft differently, and so I feel like that's kind of working out. So we're calling that goal done. Woo-hoo! Goal number 9 is to finish scrapping my 2012 and 2013 pictures by the end of 2020. And of those 23 scrapbook pages that I made in April, 21 of those were 2012 or 2013 pictures. So I still have some 2012 pictures left, but I managed to work through that pile a lot this past month. So goal number 10 is to develop kits that I can put together to use up some of my craft supplies without me actually having to use those supplies. So my thought on this was like card kits that I could put together and either use for classes, like in-person classes, or kits that I could sell at craft shows or, on Etsy or whatever. And actually I had gone through my supplies in March, and in April I did finally put some kits together that I have for sale at the little boutique, the handmade boutique that we're here in. We have some of our stuff here locally. And it was like an all-occasion kit that I made. And I'm leaving that one, even though I did come up with some kits, I want to leave that open just because I would like to come up with some other kits too throughout the year, like Christmas card kits, using up some of my Christmas supplies as well. And goal number 11 is to create at least 10 block sets per week. And this is for like our business, our Bourbon Creek Crafts business. We do decorative block sets, home decor, stuff like that. And I did 30 in April, which was pretty low, and most of those were orders, so I didn't really do any inventory stock up. Most of that was just keeping up with orders, and like I said, I did really well on scrapbook pages, did not do so well on the blocks. Goal number 12 is to average at least 3 YouTube videos per week, and I don't think I did, because I did 13 videos again in April, but I want to say there were like 5 weeks, or maybe it was 4 full weeks, but it was like 5 partial weeks. So I was probably pretty close, but I know there was a couple weeks where I only did 2 videos, and just because, I don't know, it was either in kind of a funk there for a while, or just didn't feel like I had anything video worthy. So. And then my last goal is number 14 is to use up one card kit, at least one card kit per month, and these are the flavor of the month card kits. I subscribed to them a few years ago. I love their kits, and I had subscribed and got all these kits, but at that time I didn't have as much time to use them, and so they all started to stockpile, and I was running out of room, and so I decided I needed to start using those up before I can subscribe again and start getting those kits again. The kit I used was, I think it was August of 2017, and it was called Wild and Free. And so it was kind of a camping, outdoor themed kit, and that was pretty fun, and I got lots of good things from that. So I do feel good about April. I do feel like I got a lot done. I think my focus shift from some areas to others, and that's okay, because again, there's a lot of months where I did really great on creating blocks, but maybe I didn't have as many scrapbook pages or other things. So like I said, I feel like it's all going to kind of average out in the end. But here is kind of like my little stats chart that I started keeping for myself. And if you look at April, I made 117 cards, which is actually low. And again, I think because I made tons of scrapbook pages and I made some albums. So kind of, again, focus was shifted. But I did send out 193 cards. And some of those I sent a box off to Cards for Soldiers early in the month. And then we made and delivered cards for nurses. We did like 48 cards for nursing and hospital staff that a friend was collecting. And then right at the end of the month, we delivered almost 70 cards to our PTO, our school's PTO, because it was Staff Appreciation Week. Our Staff Appreciation Week is coming up this week for our school, and even though we're not there, we did want to celebrate our staff, and so I did a card for every single staff member at my daughter's schools. And these are cards I had made up last year. When I did a school pad, I had a bunch of cards already stockpiled, so I just had to write in them and finish them off. So we delivered that. So that has, several kind of big donation totals in there. But there's my 23 scrapbook pages that I made. That's like almost 2 months, 3 months combined from what I normally make. I did 13 videos, and then I only created 30 block sets. And again, that you can see that number's pretty low from previous months as well. But still feel pretty good about things. And as far as May, we have a couple more weeks left of homeschooling, and then, summer officially starts, I guess. Things are starting to open up here in Indiana. They've got a phased plan to kind of open things up slowly and get us all kind of back to normal. So I'm not really sure what to expect for May. I still have a lot of plans as far as trying to get stuff used up. And I was recently accepted to the Scrapping for Less design team, so I'm hoping that, I've got some fun projects that I can do for that. That's kind of new. I'm going to have to work those in as well. But, yeah, I don't really know what to expect for May. But I know that I'm going to continue to be crafty. And speaking of May, today is National Scrapbook Day. So happy National Scrapbook Day to all of you paper crafters. And I'm kind of torn because I really want to sit inside and play today, but it's also going to be a beautiful day here. Like the prettiest day, gosh, for at least the last week and probably going forward for the next week. So I'm torn. I want to be outside and play, and I also want to be inside and play. So I'll probably try and play inside today, get some crafting done, and then head outside this afternoon and enjoy the beautiful weather. But thank you guys so much for your time today, listening to my goals progress. I hope you're all doing well on your goals. Would love to hear any updates that you have, how April went for you, and the crafty goals that you set for yourself. And again, be sure to check out all the ladies participating in the Crafty Goals collab with Amalia in the description box below. But again, thanks so much for your time today. Happy National Scrapbook Day, and I hope you all find some time to be crafty today. Thanks.